this is part 14 to my witchcraft experience. So in the midst of my madness, coming to terms with what my wife just did regarding my credit score, I see this girl's car sitting outside of my apartment. Now I'm wrestling with my thoughts trying to figure out why this woman in front of my house. Didn't see anybody get out, they just sitting there. Sat there for a couple hours, and then eventually they left. Don't know what she was doing, but it got my attention. So about 2 weeks go by. These 2 weeks felt like absolute torment. During those 2 weeks I did not talk to her, but all I saw in my head was her. Us having sex, her visiting me in my dreams, smelled all over my house, and my prayers were being blocked again. Felt like I was back at square one. That's truly because I had done let so much damn hate in. When I tell you I was 38 hot, absolutely livid about my credit score, about what my wife had did to my credit score. I don't even think words can explain it, man. With all that hate that I was exhibiting, this woman had enough to have a field day with my spirit. And that she did. I would have wet dreams about this woman damn near every night. Meanwhile, I'm fighting her. I'm fasting. I'm still trying to pray even though they being blocked. Making sure to keep my house clean. And I'm trying my best to stay sane. Every so often, that dude that I met at the cologne shop, the one that wanted to put in some work for me, he'll reach out to me, asking me the same question. You good, bro? You got any work for me? It's almost like the devil was trying to get me to crack under pressure and tell this man yes. I was very, very tempted to tell him, hell yeah, go handle your business, Lime. But I knew the consequences of that. Each day, the visions got worse. The feelings got worse. It got to the point to where I was literally finna go check into a mental institution. I sat on the couch with my file loaded, and I thought about killing myself. It got to the point to where it was just too much. Me and my wife had been through so much. I wanted to X this woman out, but that's exactly what the devil wanted from me. I was catching hell at work. I had felony charges pending against me at this time as well. My money was all fucked up. I honest to God believed that this woman was causing my life to be in complete chaos as a consequence for not giving her what she wanted. So yeah, I contemplated suicide. Thought about it, then I got right back to being homicidal. I'm back riding around the city again, in my car, and I'm looking for Lil' Mama. But it's funny because this is how Lovejar spells work. I would start off angry, livid, and then it'll get replaced by a vision of us having sex. A vision of something sweet that she did for me. Something sweet that she said to me. And in the midst of me riding around the city looking for this girl, I forgot why I was out. Literally lost track of what I was going to do. And she texts me, hey, I'm on your side of town, I'm finna come by and see you. My mind at that point was flooded with so many memories of us having sex, of all the sweet things she did for me and all of that. I text that girl back and I said, okay, I'll be home. So as I'm driving back home, I see an angel number on somebody's license plate in front of me at a red light. For y'all who don't know, angel numbers are simply numbers that the angels use to communicate with you. For example, 333, 444, 222, things like that. But for me, different numbers resonate with me. The angel number I saw was 7911, 7911. And what was so unique about that number was that it was the last 4 digits of my wife's phone number at the time. Now I'm headed back to the crib to see this girl, and I ain't seen her in a little minute. And the last 4 numbers of my wife's phone number pop up as an angel number. So I'm at a red light. I pull out my phone and I look it up. I remember specifically what it stood for. 7911 was a warning. A warning that what I was about to do was a mistake and I was going to regret it. I remember in that moment my heart beating really, really fast and me trying to snap out of it. But every logical thought I had was replaced with desire for that woman. Literally had that feeling of somebody being inside of my head, splitting my mind in two and controlling my thoughts. It was a small part of me still pulling and tugging. But with all that hate in me, I wasn't gonna be able to fight off no demon. So I head home and this girl pulls up. She has one of her kids with her. The little girl runs in and she hugs me. She says, I miss you, Daddy. It's been a long time. I knew I was gonna see you again. My stomach dropped in my ass. I had another little girl calling me Daddy. My daughter is the only little girl that calls me Daddy. And I love that girl to death. J Lacy comes in and she puts on cartoons for the little girl. Little girl gets off of me, she starts watching the cartoons. J Lacy then grabbed me by my hand and started walking me towards my bedroom. As I'm going back to that bedroom, my heart is beating out of my chest. Feels like something inside of me is screaming. My whole body heat up and I start feeling dizzy. Start feeling like I gotta vomit. When I crossed the threshold of my bedroom, it felt like my spirit exited my body and something else jumped into my body and my whole body went numb. The only thing that I remember being active, honestly, is my eyes. It's almost like my body was numb, my mind was dormant, and all I could do was see what was going on. It literally felt like something else was controlling my body. And this was the first time I had felt this. Whatever this woman was doing was getting stronger and stronger. She had sex with me. This sex was different from any sex we had had. The way I was just laying there, homie, it had to feel like she was fucking a dead body. And I'm looking at her with these wide eyes, looking like I'm fucking terrified and scared to death. Because I'm trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, what's inside of me, why does it feel like my spirit is sitting outside of my door and something else is inside of me. And I could tell she knew something was up. Her energy was off, but she ain't give a fuck. She looking at me, she fucking me, and she just constantly saying, I love you, I love you, I love you. While she having sex with me, I remember how I felt. I'm not gonna lie to you, homie, it feel like I was being raped. It's like I wanted it to stop and I wanted to fight it, but I couldn't. My whole body was numb. It almost felt like I was being held down by something. I remember feeling dirty, real dirty while it was going on. So she finishes. She lays on my chest and everything is silent. She laying on my chest, drawing sigils on my chest. Now keep in mind, my wife's name is tattooed on my chest. I didn't know it back then, but now I do know. She was drawing sigils over my wife's name on my chest. She came over there, manipulated me, fucked me, and then put another spell on my wife, or me and my wife's union. She got up and she left. When she left, homie, I remember just laying in the bed feeling awful. Just kept asking myself, boy, what did you just do? That ain't feel right. You let something in, homie. And I think that something is still here. I just had this overwhelming feeling of, you just made a big mistake, homie. So I got up and I went to lock the door after she left. The moment I left my bedroom, I felt whatever that was inside me leave. It left and my spirit jumped back in my body. It was almost as if when we went in my bedroom, my spirit wasn't allowed to be in that bedroom with me and that girl. Only me, only my vessel, that entity that was in me and her. The moment my spirit jumped back in my body, I immediately started to cry. It was almost like I could not hold it back, homie. My whole body was sore, my mouth was dry, I had to vomit, and I felt real weak. Something had definitely been in my body. Those are all symptoms of possession, or something that ain't supposed to be in your body, inhabiting your body. So of course I was scared. So I'm praying, I'm fasting, I'm doing research trying to figure out what's going on. I reached out to Elle and I spoke to her about some stuff. And she also informed me that yet again, she told me that this woman in particular, J Lacy, had searched lifetimes specifically for me. So her obsession was deeper than anything I could ever imagine. Told about something inhabiting my body. She just told me to continue doing cord cutting spells. So with the anger towards my wife, the confusion towards J Lacy, I ended up cursing J Lacy out. I told her to take these spells off of me and that I was done with her. She cried, cursed me out, told me I was always leaving her and that she hated how I was always leaving her. Told her I didn't give a fuck. A couple days go by, I realized I had to tell my wife that I had just had sex with this girl because me and her was working on reconciling things, and witchcraft or not, it still happened. I was real nervous about telling this woman, man, but I did. She cried, she cursed me out, and I tried to explain to her like that shit was different. That was unnatural and it was something else to it. She didn't want to hear it in the moment, but we separated again. So fast forward a few weeks later, I began to have dreams that this woman is pregnant. Night after night, I ignored them. I ignored them until my wife called me and she told me that she had a dream that this woman was pregnant with my baby. At that point, I was scared shitless. My wife told me, go find out if that girl pregnant. And if she is, we are done. So I'm nervous as hell. A couple days go by. I finally work up the courage to text this woman. Part 15 on the way. The dream.